And we're going to see.
He's going to try to sprawl up all over the cage here and switch position.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. David's got the hooks in.
Yeah, and the problem was that Travis had David's other arm, David on top, looking for the rear naked choke in the red shorts. Travis underneath, and he's been fighting it off.
Showing some desperation. There's the tap.
There it goes.
There's the tap. You saw that coming.
There it goes. I've got to say, I am pleasantly shocked by David Radabaugh because he just impressed me all different angles. To come out with a head kick, a straight, almost, it was like a front kick, but he went for the head. It was pretty amazing. I wouldn't have thought he could kick that high. Moves to 5-3, and I wouldn't even classify him as a brawler, to be honest with you, because he's shown us a lot of skill out there and intensity. When you see a guy smoking outside, you don't expect him to come out with that intensity. But then maybe you should, because you know he can't go 3 rounds, right?
There he goes. Travis comes back in there to show some sportsmanship. Good to see, good to see.
And now your winner, coming at 2 minutes and 25 seconds of round number 1. Winner by rear naked choke, David Scrappy-Doo.
David Radabaugh worked hard for that rear naked choke. You could see the frustration for a little bit, looking to the corner, saying, I should have it in on this guy. This guy should be tapping. What's going on?
Boxing IQ Enterprise, MMA Unlimited, Screen LTD, MMA Outside. Loved by a Pitbull is in the house. FightMichigan.com. We got Shannon Hale as our official timekeeper this evening. TJ Corwin, part of that FightMichigan.com organization. They got everything you need to know about MMA. And how about a huge, let me hear you scream for TWC for putting this show on for you this evening. How about another fight, Lansing? Introducing first your red corner fighter, ladies and gentlemen, Shaun, Saville.
All right, Shaun coming in with 5 cage fights. He's 2-3 record, representing Team Superior. Out of Lansing, he's a stand-up fighter, and you know what you see a lot with these 500 fighters, you just never know, because sometimes they're put in there with guys that are super-duper tough and have a couple losses and learn from that, and they come in with way more skills than you would expect. I think in that last fight, it was surprising. David Radabaugh surprised me. That was an excellent fight from all different angles. And a little frustrating not being able to get the rear naked right away. But, I mean, when you see guys with traps like Brock Lesnar, you know you got to work for it. And
I definitely noticed that. He was a big guy. Nothing surprises me about David anymore, though. Being in there with that kid, he's a good fighter. Definitely a good fighter. He works hard in the gym, too.
You know, and talking to him beforehand, he didn't talk too much about the training intensity. He just talked about being scrappy, and I wouldn't even define him as that. Because I think he showed us a lot of different looks.
Put your hands together for Devin, Garett.
All right, Devin coming in with a lot more experience. He's coming in, you know, with about 19 fights and representing Drop Squad MMA out of Auburn, Michigan. He's a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu fighter. Doesn't really know anything about his opponent other than 2 guys backed out before Shaun Saville stepped up and said, I'll take the fight. So a little bit, we're seeing the well-rounded. I think Muay Thai is a great, you know what I mean? You don't get a chance to really work on the distance like you like sometimes because they like to be in close quite often, but having Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu background really helps. He trains at a bunch of different places as well. Muscle Factory for Jiu-Jitsu and boxing, goes to New Body for wrestling, and Midland Muay Thai Academy, you know, obviously for the Muay Thai. So as you said earlier, sometimes you have to go around to get that experience. These are the little guys. So he is the #1 contender for the 125 belt, Devin Garett, who just stepped in the white spandex. He drops from about 150 pounds to make these 125.
Wow. That's impressive.
His last fight was a loss by rear naked, and he said that's all he's been drilling, so he will not get stopped. Twice he's been stopped by a rear naked. We're going to go up to Michael Corwin.
Introducing first, to my left, fighting out of the red corner from right here in Lansing, Michigan, representing Team Superior, a stand-up fighter weighing 132 pounds. Scream for Shaun, Saville! His opponent to my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a member of Drop Squad, MMA, a Muay Thai style fighter, weighing 132 pounds. Let me hear it for Devin Garett.
Is it Muay Thai a drink? We'll take a couple of those too. Ringside, please. Cage side.
Out of the Drop Squad. I like that name.
Yep. All right, we're going to see who comes out on top, because I know Devin Garett in the white is looking for this because he's the #1 contender for 125. We're going to get a chance to see that belt tonight. And again, when you see a guy throwing wild, it's hard to predict that. You get caught.
Big slam. Ooh.
Making some huge points with the judges, that's for sure with that.
Jockey for position here. We got work from the guard here.
And I know for those of you at home getting a shot of TJ's butt. All right, now, and it's back. All right, guys working hard because they want to win this fight so they can fight for the 125 belt next time around. God, do you remember when you were 125, Shay?
Oh, no.
Or were you 3?
3rd grade, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. All right, and look at the intensity of Devin Garett.
What a win. What a win.
And you know what?
Man.
He totally turned that around, and that's what you got to do. When you have that experience, as Devin has 19 fights in the cage, you have that experience, you know, to weather some of the storm at first when someone comes out swinging and throwing bombs, and hopefully you don't get caught by one, and you can turn the tide of the fight.
Take advantage of your opportunities.
Obviously, this puts him as the #1 contender for the 125 belt, and that's what he's going to look for next time around, so he's going to keep a close watch on the title fight tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, coming at 54 seconds of round #1. Winner by TKO, Devin Garett!
Devin's opponent looking a little shaken up. Shaun Saville looking a little shaken up on his way out of the cage. I think just the intensity, you got to expect that. You know, especially the little guys that need a sandwich. They are coming out swinging. They're hungry.
Those little guys can pack a punch, though. I sparred with a couple little guys at the gym, and man, you underestimate.
For a belt, his next fight. Let's give it up for Devin. He's got a shot at some hardware.
And he definitely put an exclamation point on that.
How about another fight? I like the screaming over here. How about you? How about another fight, Lansing? Come on! Introducing next, your red corner fighter. Put your hands together for Kory Wortz.
All right, we're getting deep into some of the fights. Shay, Kory, Wortz coming in with a record of 4-1, representing Team Taurus. He's out of Charlett, Michigan, and Lansing. You always want to represent the hometown, right, when you're here.
Absolutely. Get the fans on your
side. Get a couple extra screams out of it. Freestyle fighter. He likes to put on a show and make exciting for the fans, and hence the reason he's so deep into the card. You always want to put the fighters that want to put on a display deep into the card. We only have 2 fights left, and we're going to start our title fight. So this being one of them, Kory Wortz, 25 years old, coming in here. Justin Houghton, one of the referees we saw earlier, he is one of the coaches of Kory, and I've seen Kory fight before. Awesome intensity. I mean, you're going to see a guy with a lot of skill. His last fight, he won by the first round referee stoppage due to strikes and ground and pound. So that's not a place you want to be, definitely on the bottom of a ground and pound.
Not with a guy like this, especially.
His sponsors are Vivid Ink Tattoos and Holt, Michigan. Other sports, snowboarding. And it's funny because he looked like a snowboarder. And I don't know if people said, what does a snowboarder look like? They just have a look to them. And he is a snowboarder in extreme BMX. He has that, you know, X Factor look to him. In great shape coming into the cage tonight. Hoping to put his record to 5-1.
His opponent for this belt contention fight. Your blue corner fighter, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Petipren.
All right, Marcus Petipren coming in. Weighing 150 pounds, he has a record of 3-1, 2 by submission, 1 by TKO. And his loss by rear naked choke.
Rear naked, what do you know?
Once again, by rear naked choke. You guys got to keep that chin tuck, push up on the elbow, get out of there.
Sounds so easy, doesn't it?
It does. It's so easy to be that armchair quarterback, right?
Yeah, right.
Jiu-jitsu is his primary fight style. That's kind of what he trained in first. He represents Conquer MMA, and as we said, Ben Cummings, busy night tonight for him. Last month, picked up a title in another organization. So this is where you get a chance to see how valid organizations' titles are when you see them from elsewhere. When they come in the cage, they got to exhibit some sort of skill to validate that title. He is tonight's contender for the 145 belt, so we're going to see if he can pull it off. He knows, only thing they know about each other really is that the record of the opponent. And he said, Marcus said he thinks he's got to be as good as me because our records are similar. Let's go up to Michael Corwin.
Standing to my left, fighting out of the red corner from right here in Lansing, Michigan, he represents Team Taurus, a freestyle fighter weighing in at 145 pounds, standing 5 foot 8 inches tall. Let me hear you put your hands together for Kory. Michigan, representing Conquer MMA. A jiu-jitsu fighter weighing in at 150 pounds, standing 5 foot 9 inches tall. A big roar for Marcus Petipren.
Sounds like the crowd's behind both fighters on this one.
Yeah.
This bout is scheduled for 3-minute rounds.
I'm expecting this to be very intense. Again, I've seen Kory fight before. Great fighter. Getting a chance to see Marcus fight for the first time tonight. He has a twin brother fighting tonight. It's a little bit heavier.
It's always a fun night.
So you think you're seeing double, but you're not. All right, intense. And Kory's going to be a little bit more relaxed and controlled here. He's been here before. Bringing those knees, and you can see Marcus trying to avoid those knees, trying to protect himself. This is kind of a battle of strength. Definitely. At this point. You being a wrestling background too, who would you say has the advantage during this point?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you see the strong sprawl from one side and then the strong stand-up posture on the other end. It's just a matter of strength from there, really. Looking for a standing guillotine. You might have it in there.
I don't know. I'm thinking Marcus is a little bit too squirrely to let that get off. And Marcus again in the predominantly black trunks, whereas Kory has the white trunks on. And I think Kory's just getting a chance to exhibit a lot of his strength, just tossing Marcus around. Marcus looks a little bit, when you see his face, at a loss or what position I should go for here. And at least that's where you're going to leave a message in the minds of the judges, Kory being active with his knees.
Looks like Kory's got good control of the arms there, too.
I love how he pulls his hips back just in case he needs to sprawl. And
nice
almost
knee.
bringing that knee up to the face of Marcus Petipren. And once again, as you said, you hear the crowd saying, Marcus, get your head out, but easier said than done when you're in a position that Kory has.
I think he's taking some damage from those knees there.
You know, this has got to be exhausting. You're moving your feet, walking around, but you're clinching like that, and that's an exhausting move.
I guess you could almost call that a butterfly there when you got both arms trunked underneath and then draped around the back like that.
You see Marcus Petipren almost trying to hook his leg earlier to get Kory Wentz down and off him. Kory trying to be active with his hands, but he didn't want to give up his position and of his being in the position that he's in, advantageous that it is. He doesn't want to give that up.